Good job. At least you're gonna roll him down the hill. Cat, you animal. Now what?
Taki? Eve, are you alright? This place is dangerous. Take my hand.
World is full of clowns, they're all stupid and they're proud. Painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around.
Hello everybody, Drew here for Drew That Underground, back with Breaking Rock 65. As you guys can see, it's not the end. Joining me, well, my younger brother, Desert North.
Well, it's not my concern.
Hey, bro.
Yeah. Hey there.
I had to use one of them in this gaming edition of Breaking Rocks, you know?
Yeah.
So, as you guys see by the thumbnail and well, not so much the title, but the thumbnail, Xbox is indeed selling Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush, which is great news because that means people won't be getting laid off from Hi-Fi Rush, Hi-Fi Rush, Tango Gameworks, which is a great game studio. Right, bro?
Sure, they've done useful work.
And Hi-Fi Rush was a surprise hit when that came out, so...
Yeah, it was a surprise announcement initially, and then it came out pretty quick after the announcement.
Well, it was announced and came out the same day.
Yeah, no, I know. And so, like, people got into it, and they were like, oh, it's actually pretty decent.
And it was on Game Pass at that exact moment, too, and people played it. I haven't had the chance to, but I will at some point, I'm sure.
Sure, and then because the rollout ended up being more than just a good start, but also a good continuation, people got deeper and deeper into it, and really, it's got a fan base now, which is what's holding up the dev team, pretty much.
Yeah. And with all the woke nonsense at Xbox, obviously they were going to be losing money and having to shut shit down. Tango Gameworks was going to be one of them, but not anymore because, as my notes say here, they are being bought by Crafton Inc. Do you know who that is, bro?
Well, that's one that I have heard of before, but
they are the PUBG guys.
Yeah. Their fame obviously is kind of like almost waned a bit in recent years.
Now they swooped in and saved a studio and people's jobs at Tango Gameworks. So kudos to you, Crafton Inc. You know?
Yeah. Thankfully, good studios getting saved is always a positive piece of news.
Yeah, because now
Microsoft has been just completely in a bunch of.
Oh yeah.
If I could do like a 3-second bleep right about now, that would be proper. You know what I'm saying?
Well, first of all, this is the underground. There are no fucking bleeps.
You know what I'm saying?
And second, I will say on your behalf, Nord, what you're thinking. Xbox has fucked things up so bad that they're sitting on a pile of shit in Joe Biden's office. I don't know.
Yeah, no, like if I could go back and just add like a 3-second bleep right there, that would be you get the point,
Yeah,
they just really been effing things up, badly.
This is the underground. You can say fuck.
I just wanted to express my outrage on more than like 5 or 6 fronts with those people right now.
Well, there's going to be plenty of rage here for other things, and not so much for others, because there's as much good as there is bad this week. And also, this is just about a completely gaming-related Breaking Rocks, with the exception of the reaction to a music video for Falling in Reverse that we will be checking out at the end called Prequel, which came out yesterday, I guess. And
Yeah,
if that's the case, then it came out on Tom's Day.
like the thing about Microsoft, okay, if I could just explain or draw a comparison, okay?
Yeah.
You remember, the Chris Farley movie Tommy Boy, right?
Yeah.
And in the Zelensky, right? This auto parts giant guy who pretends to give a shit about the average everyday
Yeah. Which
working
was
man
played by Dan
because he
Aykroyd.
says that's who he is and that's who he cares about. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's Microsoft. They pretend to care about the everyday, consumer and gamer and person, but they
And,
don't give a shit. And all they're doing now
game
is just
development studio
they're
too, yeah.
buying up studios and bashing them against the wall just to take the name.
And the IPs, which leads me to the questions that I was going to ask. With Tango Gameworks now going to be owned by Crafton Inc., what does this mean for Evil Within? What does this mean for the other IPs that Microsoft now supposedly owns since they bought Bethesda?
Yeah.
Softworks and whatnot. Do they still own those? And that means that Tango will not be making any more Evil Within games, because that would be the only downside to this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there would be. I mean, there's only so much they can do. I mean, they aren't a giant. They are essentially a competitor who's coming in to save them.
Yeah.
From the big bad, bat with a big bad wolf with a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
There's one other parallel, actually. One of the things I was going to talk about, which is parallel to that, actually perfectly parallel to that, is what happened this past week with Mojang.
What happened with Mojang?
And Minecraft? Because more recently, Mojang got bought by Microsoft, or at least they now have controlling ownership.
That was years ago.
That was years ago.
Yeah.
And so the results of that purchase are beginning to show themselves. This recent update, 1.20.21, completely destroyed everything. It wrecked a lot of things. Okay. And what happened was last Monday, the servers straight up went down after the update. Like straight up, the whole damn server just crashed for Minecraft Realms and on Bedrock, which is the console edition of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And was down sporadically, and in some cases for people completely, myself included, for the last 5 days through the whole week here. With only small overnight opportunities to get on and play it. But this is a pay service, mind you. This is Microsoft Realms is a pay service. You have to pay to play this. But it was down with very unconvincing and unconfirmed reports of them actually doing something about it. And even now, I don't trust its stability. It was back on in the last evening. It was back on, but it was been down for like 5 days, and people were pretty hacked off about it.
I completely forgot about the tab that I had about Hi-Fi Rush ready to show everybody.
Yep. So that's something that happened this past week too that I wanted to mention, because basically that was Microsoft causing people who are paying for a gaming service to not get their service for the last 5 days, all because here's what they did. Okay, what they did was they took away what's called the PDB files. Okay. They removed the PDB files entirely from Bedrock Edition on Realms. And so what that did was anyone who had any kind of mod that was not strictly a store mod that was provided by Microsoft themselves, basically had their version not load correctly and cause internal server error. And then what happened was the server decided to, in response, shut down. It basically crashed the server. All the error messages crashed the server. And then they were scrambling to what to do, what do we do. And so they spent the last 4 or 5 days. They had an update on Wednesday, which I guess some PDB files were put back, I guess, but not all. So that caused the server to go back up initially, but then go right back down again when people with the remaining removed files tried to log in. It crashed the server one more time. And so I don't know what they did on yesterday afternoon to get it back again, but last time I checked it was back. But this whole thing was all because they don't want anyone having mods that are not official mods on the game, on console edition of the game. So it's greed, really. It's greed. And it's like, screw your creativity. We want you to pay for this shit. And then, oh, by the way, even though you are paying for this, it's down anyway. So sorry, we're working on it. We're trying to find a way to work our greed into the equation here. But that's exactly what went on the last week with Mojang and by proxy Microsoft.
Shucks, I won't be going to Minecraft now.
You probably weren't anyway, but
I was there years ago. What I really should say is, shucks, I won't be going back.
Well, I mean, someone like myself, I've put a lot of time into that. I put a lot of time into it. So,
I've put into Skyrim. So,
yeah, I mean, I've put a lot of time. I mean, the better part of a month worth of game time into it.
However, if we can get back to Hi-Fi Rush and Tango here for a few minutes, because with the article that I forgot that I had the tab open for, that you guys now see on the screen, Krafton shared the news in a press release alongside confirming that as a part of the strategic agreement, Krafton intends to collaborate with Xbox and ZeniMax to ensure a smooth transition and maintain continuity at Tango Gameworks, allowing the talented team to continue developing the Hi-Fi Rush IP and explore future projects, meaning maybe Tango will still be doing the Evil franchise and their other stuff that they've done.
Of course, they're going to get ZeniMax involved. Of course, ZeniMax, their precious golden child, ZeniMax.
Yeah, well, ZeniMax is now owned by Microsoft, so.
Yeah, no, I know. That's that's one of their most lucrative ownerships. It really is, especially long term.
But then again, when you spend money like water to acquire things like ZeniMax, and then Xbox closes studios, and people are like, oh, why is this happening? Because they spent too much fucking money, that's why.
Yeah, no, and what actually bothered me was they sent a whole bunch of people over from some of these other studios they bought over to ZeniMax, and frankly, their main project remains ESO, and they've seen a continual drop off of gamers playing it, and it's not really grown too much. It's kind of like bouncing around and plateaued. But yet people still spend as much money as they do on it, and that's why Microsoft wanted it so bad.
I think I just got an answer to my question with this paragraph here. Krafton intends to support the Tango Gameworks team to continue its commitment to innovation and delivering fresh and exciting experiences for fans. The press release continues, there will be no impact on the existing game catalog of Evil Within, Evil Within 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, and Hi-Fi Rush game. So there we have it. Tango Gameworks.
Sure, so all you had to do was read the article.
Oh, fuck.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I would expect with that whole Krafton thing, buying them, I would expect them to keep the continuation of all the current titles. I wouldn't expect them to do any sort of wall bashing with any of the titles.
Yeah.
Especially since all of their titles were popular. That's how they became popular. That's how they become successful, is having all these good titles, that people play. Same with Krafton. I mean, the same is true of them. Like I said, they've had their high point, when PUBG first dropped and they had millions and millions and millions of people on it. And it's kind of, precipitously sort of waned a bit, and then not Minecraft. Fortnite got kind of in the way of PUBG And you know how Fortnite has been. Fortnite has been a continual thing for millions of gamers. I'm not its biggest fan, but it was the competition for PUBG when they first dropped. They almost pretty much dropped together, and so people were like immediately split about which one do you prefer, PUBG or Fortnite, and
Yeah, I
but
remember.
anyway.
Yeah.
But that was many years ago at this point, and so Krafton's actually not got as much going on as they used to. So this is kind of an interesting thing to see them sweep in and sort of save the day, I guess you could say.
Which, like I said, claps all around to Crafton Inc. Yes, I do. I gotta keep looking at my notes because I've never uttered that name before this week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna call them the PUBG team. So
yeah, because that is pretty much their main thing, I would assume.
Yeah. But on another note, we got to switch to talking about Star Wars again. So you guys know what that means.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
So we got an article here, courtesy of That Park Place. Go check them out. Over on YouTube as well. They also have a YouTube channel, and also I can't remember the name of it, but one of the people that works there also has his own channel. WDW Pro, I believe it's called, over on YouTube as well. So go check him out. He covers a lot of Disney stuff over there. But on that note, Ubisoft buttered up YouTubers and influencers with trips to Disneyland and boat tours to promote Star Wars Outlaws, except for Star Wars Theory, who told them no.
Yep.
Yes,
It's a classic.
I say that again. The largest Star Wars YouTube channel out there told them no.
Yeah, it's a classic situation. Game studios keep doing this crap, especially the AAA ones. They keep trying to, get basically a false positive PR. And when we say false positive, we mean paid for positives. Bought reviews and such. It's so pathetic. The whole thing is so pathetic. Like, can you guys not just put out a good product and let your good positive reviews be organic? Can you not just do that, please?
So shout out to this YouTuber, Cyberpunk 20XX, for discovering this. German YouTuber Cyberpunk 20XX instead of 2077. Discovered multiple YouTubers and influencers revealed how they were actually influenced by Ubisoft as a part of the company's target marketing campaign. Campaign ever? I don't know about the wording there.
Yeah, I doubt that actually. Was this their biggest marketing campaign ever? Was that what this was?
Oh, the company's largest marketing campaign. Well, it clearly is because they're trying.
That's even more sad.
First of all, I see ads. I cannot escape ads for this fucking game no matter where I go, okay?
No, I know, but that makes it even more pathetic.
Which means, even though this channel is not monetized, and it never will be, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are watching this on YouTube after the fact, and suddenly right now, you get an ad for this fucking game instead of listening to what I'm saying right now.
It wouldn't be surprising at all, would it?
Because the ad for this fucking game is fucking everywhere. Yes, it is their largest marketing campaign ever. I'm pretty sure
it may also be their wokest fucking game ever. We'll see.
Yeah, that too. But I'm pretty sure if I go take a shit in the toilet, I'll find this game sitting in the toilet as an ad.
Yeah.
It's that fucking bad.
Yeah, you have to watch an Outlaws ad before you flush the toilet in the morning.
Yeah. You get up, you clean yourself, and you have to watch an ad before you're allowed to flush the shit down the toilet. Anyway, or whatever you did in it. First, Ubisoft CEO, whatever the fuck this name is, Yves Guillemot, said, "This is a because it's Ubisoft. I don't give a fuck about them. Revealed that the company was rolling out the largest marketing campaign ever for Star Wars Outlaws. Well, no shit. During the recent earnings report call, this person right here, something Nick Dempsey, whatever, asked, when I look at the guidance for Q2, if I assume something similar for back cataloging Q2 as Q1, kind of getting 200, whatever this form of currency is, in the millions. I think that's pounds, right?
Yeah, probably is. Yeah.
Okay. That sort of range for the new release of Star Wars Outlaws.
Well, that actually, yeah. If I'm looking at it now. It actually says euros, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so 200 to 230 million euros.
Yep.
I don't know what that translates to U.S. dollars, but I would guess you're probably assuming way the fuck too much for this game, pal.
Well, I believe the euro is just slightly above the value of the dollar. I believe. Or slightly below it. I forget to check lately.
Here, I got a question for you, Park Place. You have 200 to 230 million euro, but yet in the next line you have $70. Don't get me wrong. I love you, that Park Place, but I have questions.
Yeah, $70 price for the game.
Did you have two people write the article together? One person write one line, then the second person write the next line?
Well, you see what it says on that second line, though. It says that the price of $70 for the game.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the question mark is, why the fuck is this game so expensive?
Well, all current gen games are $69.99.
Yeah. Well, see, that points me to my problem with current gen games.
Kind of like last gen, the asking base price was $59.99, as you obviously well know. Well, that's the base price for this generation in games. So $69.99.
One more place where inflation has reared its ugly head.
Yeah, which it hasn't for fucking years before 2020.
Yeah.
And I also blame 2020 on top of the gaming industry for the $70 shit.
I remember back in the day, when I say back in the day, I mean the early 2000s, okay?
Yeah.
And I remember the standard price being $40 to $50. Nothing was above $60. And I do mean nothing was above $60.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Even the deluxe collector's edition with all the perks and all the extra shit, nothing was above $60.
Well, in some cases, $80 at that point.
Yeah, no, I mean, but if it were anything above 60, then it was absolutely a whole bunch of extra shit you got with the game.
Yeah,
not just the base game.
Which was online related, which was very rare in the early 2000s, because we're talking original Xbox, PS2, and the GameCube era.
Correct.
This shit was not happening.
Yeah, online games were only on the computer. They weren't. Most of the consoles weren't that way.
Well, the original Xbox could be connected online.
And if they, when they launched those online services, there was a lot of people jumped on them. But here's the thing: they didn't become the mainstay until the late 2000s.
Yeah, obviously.
And by then, game prices were all over the place. You know, for all that collector's edition stuff, you probably had to crack out over $100. But now we're at the position where you can't get a base game for less than $70. Okay, so that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
Oh, and then by the way, of course, thanks to EA and such, now we have all these extra shit they toss in the game that you're not even getting the whole game when you buy the game.
Yeah.
And we know that's true of Outlaws too. They're going to have in-game purchases and DLC and all sorts of shit to cost you even more money to play the game.
Yes, indeed.
But it's also a shit game on top of that. So it's we can almost guarantee that this team of this crack team of not Star Wars fans are going to pretty much destroy one more title in the series.
Yeah.
As if Star Wars isn't like literally, the plug half out of the wall on life support, with these people dancing on top of the plug, I mean, that's where we're at. But I mean, to me, it's like I hardly care about Star Wars titles. I barely even care at this point.
Yeah.
Um, I'll talk about it, yeah, but I mean, you almost couldn't get me uh, to reach for a new Star Wars. Not until the gamers play it and say it's good. I don't trust anything from anything Star Wars,
Yeah.
anyone or anything touching Star Wars. I don't trust any of them. So they got to prove it to me that it's good. Kind of like they did with, what's the one Jedi? What was it? Jedi Survivor.
Oh, yeah. And as well as Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, Fallen Order. Fallen Order was the one who was good word of mouth. I didn't trust the IP at that point, but good word of mouth kind of took Jedi Fallen Order into the acceptable range for me.
But
Survivor actually was the other one. I didn't actually mess at all with Survivor.
But to wrap up,
yeah, the point I was just making is like I don't trust this IP at all and anyone working on it at all anymore. Whether it's Disney or whether it's these Ubisoft guys, I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
To make a game that isn't an absolute FU to the gamers.
But to wrap up this particular story, looking for a pen up here somewhere for a reason. This should hopefully work. Because I'm about to bring back something to the channel that I haven't had on the channel since I first introduced it. I don't know how long ago.
Yeah.
Because Ubisoft, you know what happens when you try to butter up content creators to shill for your shitty woke fucking piece of shit that nobody wants to play? You know what happens?
yeah, that happens right there. You've made our shit list.
You know what happens when you try to push your piece of shit game? And yes, it's a piece of shit because people that have gotten to play it early that aren't bought off by you have actually been saying that the gameplay looks fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And it runs like shit. You know what happens?
Yep.
You just made the list.
Yeah, and then just like with the rollout, they're still trying to manage with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Same deal. Like, you cannot appeal to a tiny fraction of people who are not even gamers, and those who say they are gamers but they aren't really. They're just influencers, and they're just people who are trying to self-promote. You can't appeal to just those people. You have to make a good game. We don't let you get away with that shit anymore. You can't get away with making a shit game and just paying a bunch of influencers to say it's good and trick us all into buying it. That doesn't work with guys like us anymore.
So if I may quickly remind everybody watching, everything that is on this list so far, Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, that was the first thing ever added. Or person, rather. Insomniac Games for Spider-Woke 2. Better known to those that do like it, Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. Starfield for pronouns in the game. You can chime in anytime you want if you got something to say, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, always the current thing with these people. Always the damn current thing.
Xbox for their association with BlackRock.
Yeah, definitely.
Compulsion,
one of the most disruptive and corrupt investment firms in the entire world.
yeah. Which it's no wonder Xbox has gone woke. They're working with BlackRock. So,
Yeah,
Compulsion Games for their work with Sweet Baby Inc.
sure, which touched many, many, many dev teams apparently.
And finally, as you guys just witnessed, Ubisoft and Star Wars Outlaws. So,
Yeah.
on that note, hopefully I don't need to use that again anytime soon, but given the state of society here in 2024, I wouldn't be surprised personally if you see that list again next time on the next episode of Breaking Rocks even.
Sure, it's a bit like, it's like the naughty list, it's some people are on it, some people are not,
Naughty list, that's a complete different list, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's a bit like a naughty list for gaming developers.
No, it's more like the wallet is closed to you list.
Sure, yeah. Well, that's the way Santa Claus treats the naughties too. So.
No, he actually gives them something. Cool.
Yeah.
If you actually believe in Santa Claus, that's for me.
You know what?
In case you haven't read my shirt.
Well, yes. Keep in mind. Keep in mind that the wokies, they do believe in things that are not real also. So, it's right up their alley.
Speaking of things that also aren't real, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's no longer real. It's been canceled.
Yeah. No, it's been unreeled in the most real way.
Yeah. They shut it down. I don't have an article for it as I couldn't find anything. There's only the other YouTubers reporting on it, including IGN themselves. So obviously this is real.
Yeah.
When IGN picks up on a game cancellation, usually you can believe it.
Usually, yeah. I mean, they don't like reporting those, but they do.
Yeah.
If they do, you can pretty much take it to the bank. It's
however, IGN will report game cancellations, but they will not report YouTube channels getting falsely copyright struck by game studios.
Yeah, well,
or game publishers or whoever.
Because as we know, they're supposed to be on the game side of gamers, but they're not really. They never were.
They're not. No, they've never been on our side. They've only been on the side of being able to keep access to play the games early and to get review copies. In other words, the paid gaming media. But speaking of gaming media that's not paid, Desert Northern myself.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, let's see, we talked about Ubisoft. We mentioned Star Wars Theory, not willing to shill for Star Wars Outlaws. And these are his words, not mine. I'm not going to shill for your shitty game.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that.
Yeah, modern media just shows you who's willing to sell their soul and who's willing not to.
We
not
talked about Tango Gameworks. We talked about Black Ops. The only thing left before we get to the reaction to Falling in Reverse is how 2024 has been going so far. Now, as you guys well know, on Drewdat Games in the past and this channel, respectively, we've done the Drewdat Entertainment Awards and the Drewdat Games Awards on the two channels, respectively. And the end of this year, going into January of 2025, will be no different. So with that in mind, I'm going to go over the Drewdat Game Award nominees so far and the Drewdat Entertainment stuff that we have to recognize and discuss for the first half of this year so far. Sound good to you, bro?
Oh, yeah, well, and I did have one other news bit to go over also. But yeah.
We could do, well, if you want to do that now, we can do that now.
Well, just sort of a mention, I suppose. This past week, we saw the passing of the voiceover girl for Misty and Jessie from Pokemon. Rachel
Ah,
Lillis.
did not know about that.
Rachel Lillis, the voice of Misty and Jesse, has passed away of breast cancer, and
That was from the animated TV show that we used to watch when we were younger.
yes, every time they had Misty and Jesse in the episodes, it was her behind the voices, and
Well,
really sad. But
yeah.
it was 25 years ago, and
So obviously prayers to her family and for her soul as well. So
yeah, and again, a lot of people are mourning, sort of like in an anime sort of way, the death. It is kind of the death of Misty. It really what it is. It is kind of the death of Misty. So, yeah, yeah. A lot of
so
fans are kind of sad about it right now, including myself. So,
yeah, I don't want to take the backers off. I'll just leave. No, I can't. I'd have to put Charizard on my head like this and just do this the whole time at that
yeah.
point. Although I do have a framed giant Pikachu on the wall over there, but you can't see it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But as I said, our prayers with her family and everyone.
At least we still have Veronica Taylor, who was the voice of Ash. So we still have her. She's still around and with us. So
Yeah. So, on that sad note, some positive stuff and some negative stuff. The Drew That Game Awards for 2024 so far. So far, I'll start on the backside here. For Best Ongoing Game, the only two things that we got to mention at this point are Among Us and Elder Scrolls Online. Bro?
Yep. Well, yeah. As far as Elder Scrolls Online this year, the rollout of Gold Road was kind of not all that popular. It didn't go as well as they were hoping it would. It was very underwhelming.
However, Among Us rolled out a lot of interesting updates to their game because over the years, like if you're now there's classes, I guess, and if you're an engineer, you can go through the vents like the imposter to really fuck shit up.
Yeah, really confused people. Yeah.
I saw you go through a vent. You're an imposter. No, I'm the engineer. You piece of shit.
Yeah. No, it really adds to the adds to the mystery. Adds to the accusations and mystery.
Yeah, that would give new arguments to you and I if we get the chance to play it with anybody again.
Like, dude, I'm not the imposter. I'm the engineer, okay?
Yeah. Also, a new category for this year, Left Behind But Not Forgotten. These are for games that did not come out this year. They came out for only as far back as 4 years ago that we did not get the chance to review or actually even play until the current year. So far we got, or I have, Assassin's Creed Mirage and Super Mario RPG. Bro?
Yep. I enjoyed Mirage until the end of the storyline.
Yeah.
Mirage I consider to be a good Assassin's Creed title, especially if we're going to focus on gameplay. I really didn't mind it all that much. I thought it was pretty damn good. It was the best thing since Black Flag.
Yeah.
So, if you ask me.
Remaster or remake of the year, which is a new category as well, I believe, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Star Wars Dark Forces.
Yeah.
The only remakes or remasters that I've played this year so far.
Yeah. By the way, did you get around to playing Mirage at all yet, or?
I have not. I do have it for the PS5. I just haven't had the chance between working 40 hours a week and then doing this and then sleeping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I realized there is something I can write for one category when I get there because of a recent release that I completely forgot to write on here at some point. But Wokest of the Year so far for the first half of the year. The nominees are MLB The Show 24 for putting females in Major League Baseball to play baseball as. Bro?
Yeah, that was definitely
which we
a
covered
little bit
that
over the
on
line.
channel previously. Xbox, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, just
'Cause
as a
they're
whole.
on the list. Yeah. PlayStation, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, PlayStation has been sort of on this list for years at this point. So
And also, no surprise, we were just talking about them, Star Wars Outlaws.
yeah,
And the game ain't even out yet, and no, I'm not going to play it or review it because fuck them.
yeah,
So far, Nord's most disappointing is only Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 so far.
yeah, yeah. And the reason for that, if I may just slightly go over it, is the size of the fucking game is ridiculously huge, and the updates were huge too. I mean, annoyingly large.
Yeah.
I'm talking quarter terabyte size updates, stupidly large updates, and file sizes.
Yeah.
Like these guys were not even trying to make it a fair size game. And then there's everything wrong with the multiplayer, obviously, and then the campaign was underwhelming, and so it's just kind of overall just meh. You know, it was very disappointing game.
Now, obviously, some categories don't have anything written in them yet, but they will at some point. For example, Drew's most disappointing. I don't have anything yet. I don't have anything written yet. Indie Game of the Year. We only have 2 nominees for the first half of the year thus far. Stellar Blade and Helldivers 2 for obvious reasons. Bro?
Yep. Yeah, there was quite a lot of hubbub around that.
Around both of those things.
Yeah, definitely.
And they were unfortunately connected to a point, the 2 stories about those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it was due to gaming censorship at that point.
Which continues to be a massive problem.
So we're going to just run through these categories because there's nothing in any of these bunch here. Nord's most anticipated. He don't have anything yet. Same thing for Drew's most anticipated. Nord's choice, Drew's choice, and most anticipated.
And when we usually do these is at the end of the year anyway, so we have a lot of time remaining to sort of sort out what our most anticipated
we're
would
just
be.
Talking about things that deserve to be talked about in a positive light or negative light for the first half of the year so far.
Sure, yeah.
Speaking of, adding a nominee in real time here.
Yeah.
So, most disappointing, we don't have anything down for that yet. We do have 3 nominees for Best Sports Game now. As you just saw me writing there, that was one of the things that I was just writing. So far for Best Sports Game, we currently have WWE 2K24, MLB The Show 24, which is also nominated for Wokest fucking Game of the Year. Because as woke as it is, it's a great functioning baseball game. It is the thing, though. Bro?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's a great baseball game, which is unfortunately bogged down.
Sure, yeah, they just had to shoehorn in a bunch of shit to appease the woke crowd, apparently.
However, for my money, the front runner, as it should be, College Football 25.
Yeah.
For best sports game so far. Your thoughts on that so far?
Reviews on the college sports game, the college NCAA game there, was kind of a bit mixed. Some people didn't like certain aspects. It's definitely not exactly the same game as it used to be. So it's not like a carbon copy of how we used to love the old one.
And since I'm talking about college football, I should add this about Madden 25 because I discovered this because Madden 25 came out like a day or so ago, and I've been playing that and starting writing a review for that. But I've discovered this in College Football 25. I can set my hometown as Winona, Minnesota, right?
Sure. Yep.
Without any problems. In Madden 25, Winona, Minnesota is apparently an obscene fucking word for some reason all of a sudden. So that prompted me to
That's actually ironic and funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so when I type in Winona, the name of the town that I lived in for almost 30 years of my life in Minnesota, before moving here to Arizona, I decided to try other Native American towns and cities from Minnesota to see if I'm not crazy. I tried Shakopee. That works. I tried Wabasha, arguably the most famous town or city in Minnesota because of the Grumpy Old Men films. That also worked. It's only Winona, as well as Bangkok, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Because obviously Bangkok, ha ha ha.
They
You know?
look. They needed to get. They needed to get a index of city names. Just download an index of city names and include them as special.
Hello to Carco in
Carco.
the chat.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, they needed to download an index of city names and just include all of the city names, even the ones that are, possibly edgy.
It's one thing to like not allow like certain city names, but in Madden 24, Winona there was nothing wrong with it. All of a sudden in Madden 25, it's an obscene word. Well, fuck off, EA.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, many people are probably experiencing the same thing with their city too.
But I don't know if it's EA is the problem, because Winona has no issues being used as your hometown in College Football 25.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't bother to go through and add an index of city names so that you can actually just use them. They literally have like a keyword a prefix banned list or something, some kind of like censorship line getting in the way of this. And it's very strange and stupid,
it is,
honestly.
and I hope they iron that out. But overall, I'm casually enjoying Madden 25 and its gameplay so far, which I'm probably in a minority at this point, given how a lot of other YouTubers are like, Madden 25 is the worst of all time. Well, everyone says that about every Madden that comes out every fucking year.
Yeah, we can no longer be disappointed by Madden because we no longer think it's going to be good. So if it's not good, we go, yeah. And
if it's not good, when I write my review for it, then I will tell you that it ain't any fucking good. But so far, I'm enjoying what I've been playing so far, which is so far just the Superstar mode. So
I mean, I would say it's at least 6 years in a row Madden has been blah.
Yeah, and
at least.
That's still my expectations. But anyway, back to talking about the Drew That Game Awards and what we have so far leading up to the end of this year, or for the first half of this year. So, as I said, for the sports games, our best sports games so far for the first half are WWE 2K24, MLB The Show 24, and College Football 25. Worst game of the year so far, the PS5 port of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I could not get out of the first fucking room because the camera would not fucking work.
Yeah, kind of a silly problem, don't you think?
Problem.
Yeah.
When you can't play the fucking game on a PS fucking 5,
yeah, I mean it's difficult to get into a game you can't get into, you know?
Yeah. So, multiplayer of the year, I got 2 games nominated so far for the first half of this year. And I know what you're going to say, Drew, why is Among Us nominated for multiplayer of the year in 2024? Because it's an ongoing game. It's still live. They're still updating it. It still counts.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Helldivers 2.
There was one that just came out it's probably not a new title in the series, but
Yeah.
but maybe it is. I am not actually even sure. That was First Descendants that came out, and people were saying how that one's actually quite good. So we'll see how that one goes going forward. But I heard about that one, and people are playing that one now, and I noticed there's a whole bunch of people playing it. So,
What the hell is that?
but yeah, so that one's worth noting. But yeah, the best ongoing There's very few that are the best, really amazing ongoing ones. It's hard to keep games interesting over long periods, but Among
Uh,
Us changes have been good.
I just realized I wrote ongoing game as a category twice.
Well, you only need one of those, so
Yeah. So I'll have to erase the one on the back page and move that to this side. Eye Candy of the Year, which is for the game with the best looking graphics only. Gameplay doesn't matter here. Graphics and how the game looks is all that matters for this category.
Yep.
So, in this one, you might not see a game that's in any other category for that reason. For example, first, Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga is nominated for Eye Candy of the Year. Bro?
Oh yeah, no, the recent title that came out, I mean, is kind of mediocre as we would say the storyline is.
It's a glorified graphics tech demo for the current generation.
Yeah, and so it's beautiful looking, but that's about as far as we could say about that.
Yeah, there's not really any gameplay to it all that much. However,
nothing to speak of for sure.
However, this game, there's a lot to talk about it because it's also got great gameplay. It's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, a game stunning, beautiful. It's in the opening of this very fucking stream. I'm talking about Stellar Blade.
Yeah, and as far as Final Fantasy, I'll just say, like, Final Fantasy has been, I mean, basically since the early 2000s, Final Fantasy has continued to always be near the front edge of graphic integrity. So, I mean, regardless of whether people like gameplay of it or, don't like storyline parts or whatever, each one of those titles has been always near the front of the graphic integrity. So, and the beauty of, what's possible in the current gen. They've been there for the better part of 2 decades now.
Quite.
So this wasn't any different for that.
Yeah, and your thoughts on Stellar Blade?
Sure, yeah. No, Stellar Blade's also right there. That one would be right at the front edge, I would assume, for this current gen. So, yeah, definitely the best graphics available.
And
now, there is one I would also mention. They recently added, for Java on Minecraft, they added ray tracing on Minecraft for Java, and it's actually really beautiful looking, like Minecraft worlds that people have created with mods and stuff.
The servers don't work, so no one can see it.
Yeah, well, that was just Bedrock Realms, but yeah, the Java edition on PC has available ray tracing, and boy, that changes things a lot with how the thing looks. It's got beautiful shadows and all sorts of things.
But I posed the question, kind of like a tree falling in the forest and no one's around to hear it. Does it make a sound?
Sure, yeah.
Put ray tracing in a game and the servers don't work, so no one can play it. Is it really in the game then?
Well, yeah, Realms took a powder this past week, but that was their fault. As far as the graphic quality of Java with ray tracing, it is beautiful. So there is that.
Yeah. So, best replay value so far, I only have one game here, Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
So
there's
far.
not many to go around, but yeah, that's one of them.
Dev of the Year, I only have one so far, Shift Up for Stellar Blade.
Yeah.
And yes, you will see a theme here, folks. Character of the Year, what's that?
Well, I was going to say, if the dev team over at PUBG keeps if Krafton keeps it up, they might earn themselves a Dev of the Year for what they're doing.
We'll see.
Playing hero to the industry right now.
So, I do have to look and see who actually worked on College Football 25, though. I got some research to do at some point. But
yeah,
Character of the Year, as I said, you will start to see a pattern here. Character of the Year, there's only one nominee so far, and that's Eve in Stellar Blade.
Yeah, it's sort of yeah.
She's in the opening for this very stream you're watching right now, so
yeah.
Music or Score of the Year, Final Fantasy VII and Stellar Blade are the only 2 nominees so far. Bro?
Yeah. I mean, the music in games is always kind of iffy. I mean,
Yeah,
only rarely do you get a really truly great soundtrack for a
and
game.
usually the
So
worst offenders is usually Madden or a sports game.
yeah, year in and year out, the worst soundtracks are on sports games, but the usually the best ones are on indie games. And just this year, I
Except
haven't really seen
for
any that stood out to me. So
except for I felt the best sports game soundtrack was like in MLB The Show, like '06 or '07 or something like that.
yeah. No, the sports games back in the day used to have the best soundtracks and used to keep up with even the best of the other games.
Yeah.
Especially like the NBA Street still remains one of the best soundtrack games. Volume 1, 2, and 3 all had amazing soundtracks. Then you had SSX. That series always had the best soundtracks
Oh,
of
yeah.
all time. And then there was Medal of Honor, always had a wonderful soundtrack.
Mhm.
Need for Speed series always had a great soundtrack. I mean, back in the day, we had so many amazing soundtracks. You'd be hard pressed to pick a good one in any given year that could really be said it was the best. There was so much competition, but nowadays it's usually just garbage. Even in sports games, it's garbage.
I was wondering what was on my bandana, but it's just the light from up above here.
Yeah.
When I lean in,
Yep.
at first I thought I had dirt on my thing, then I thought I wiped it off, but then I lean back in, and then it shows up again. Light up there.
Yeah.
I thought I was losing my mind. Anyway, best story. We don't have anything yet.
Yeah, we're still hunting for a good one on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would nominate Gold Road, but I really don't think it deserves it.
Yeah. However, there are currently 3 nominees for Game of the Year, and it's 2 of the usual ones that we've said so far, Helldivers 2 and Stellar Blade. Right, bro?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But as Yoda once said, always, it's not always 2 there are, but in this case, always 3 there are.
Yeah.
In this case, because the third is Pal World.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So far for Game of the Year at this point.
It definitely made a big splash, so we wouldn't forget it. We wouldn't leave it off, that's for sure.
Again, like I said with Stellar Blade, you see it in the opening of this very stream, so
Stellar Blade made a major splash too.
And so did Pal World. And if and when I get to actually properly playing Helldivers 2, you might actually see a clip of that to start this thing.
Yeah, no, I absolutely my current of the year best would be Helldivers. So yeah.
Fair.
That would currently be my game of the year choice right now. So yeah.
That's the gaming side of awards business for the first half of the year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, the Underground Entertainment Awards, as it's now being called going forward. And I know what some people are going to say. What forms of entertainment, Drew? Do you mean books? No. Do you mean TV shows? Fuck no. Do you mean movies?
A little bit.
Not necessarily, but I'll get... The jury's currently out on that at the moment. They're having dinner right now.
Yeah.
But they'll be back. So, oh, good. There's only 1 page. So, the Flashback Award, which didn't exist last year, is for things in entertainment that entertain us, at least here in the underground, that came out years before, kind of like the Left Behind But Not Forgotten Award for the games. That's this for entertainment purposes. So the current nominees for the Flashback Award are Go Woke, Go Broke by Jokes on Wokes that came out last year, which we did a reaction to right here on this podcast. So, bro?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing we got for the Flashback Award so far. Comeback of the Year, don't have anything yet. Interviewer of the Year. I currently have 3 nominees at this time. Here in August of 2024 here. That being Will Kane. Do you know who Will Kane is, bro?
Yes, I do.
Okay. For those that don't know that might be watching, can you explain who he is to the people watching?
Well, I mean, I believe he's an influencer, sort of. I guess.
He has a radio broadcast for Fox News.
Yeah.
So essentially, Fox News stuffed him in a closet somewhere and gave him a mic and a camera.
Yeah. I mean, and on the conservative side, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but he speaks more truth than anyone at Fox News that I've seen ever at this point. Outside of maybe Greg Gutfeld.
There's several others I would have.
And also, might I add, Will Kane had Nerdrotic on previously.
Yeah. So he functions as a bit of a go-between for the gamers. Or at least he has been. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a gamer himself, but he is more or less the complete opposite of what's his face that pulled his dick out on Friday Night Tights. Yeah, that's his claim to fame now for me. Because I was watching it trying to eat my fucking pizza and almost choked to death. But
yeah.
Because I just took a beat of my pizza and then he's peeing on camera. I'm like, oh, fuck. Type of deal. But
so your other two, you said you had 3 nominees for this one?
Yeah. Will Kane, Tucker Carlson, and Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple more I would add, or at least on my end, I would suggest. One of them being Elon, actually, because of
that's a good shout.
The interview we did with Trump actually got quite a lot of traffic, and
so now we got 4.
Some of these people do kind of interview each other a bit, so there is a little bit of overlap, obviously.
Yeah.
But definitely moved himself into that category with how that went. Another one who you might find a little more off the wall is Alex Stein. He's done a lot of sort of like celebrity crossover. He's obviously a conservative guy, but he's done a lot of celebrity interview crossover type stuff in the last year or so. And of course, there's always Tim Pool, which is always going to be high on the list. Yeah, I've had some misgivings about Tim, obviously, but
he
always does have
him lately. So,
he always does have really interesting guests and always influential interviews. So it's something that always kind of crosses my eyes.
However, I'm running out of room for interviewee of the year at this point.
Yeah, interviewee of the year.
Yeah.
Well, Elon with Jordan Peterson, when Elon was on Jordan Peterson, that was a really big deal. Jordan Peterson interviewed Elon Musk. That was one of the bigger interviews of the year.
But
obviously, we in past years, we had Joe Rogan on the interviewer list, kind of falling a little bit behind others at this point.
But currently, when I'm looking at for my nominees for interviewee of 2024, are as follows, and a lot of these people have been interviewed by one of the current nominees that we currently have of the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6
perhaps it would be like maybe it would be like specifically, maybe it could be like retitled sort of like interview of the year, since we basically that's basically what we mean when we say this.
Well, I may not. I've seen interviews of people who did their interviewing that I thought they sucked, but the person getting interviewed was fucking awesome. So that doesn't really work that well, which is why I think it works this way. So the names that I have for interviewee of the year was Cat Turd.
Yeah.
Because the interview with Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin.
Sure.
With Tucker Carlson. Nerdrotic with Will Kane, like I said before.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Yep, he's done several notables, obviously.
And finally, a name that YouTube is going to hate that I'm fucking saying on the platform, other than Donald Trump. Alex motherfucking Jones. So, It is what it is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Your thoughts on the interviewees of the year so far?
Yeah, no, it's a fine bunch. There's been a couple here and there. Like I said, Elon's interview with Jordan Peterson, I think, was really impactful for a lot of people. A lot of people took note of that one, where Elon was being interviewed by Jordan Peterson. They were talking about his son and all of that biz.
Yeah,
A lot of people
yeah.
took note of that one, so that was an interesting interview.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's it's sort of like a little bit of a mixture here and there. I don't know as if I really could. I don't think we've had what I would call the interview of the year yet. I think that's probably still incoming, so we'll see. But
Mhm.
there's definitely been a lot, and those are some good ones, at least for now. Those are some good ones to
Yeah.
have on the list. So I'm sort of happy with that right now.
So, X of the year, or tweeter of the year, as it was last year, since Elon now changed it to X, X or X of the year. The two nominees are Mara Jade, for obvious reasons, however,
Yeah.
and Cat Turd. You're going to
Yeah.
see his name a lot here, folks.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Mara Jade and Cat Turd?
Well,
For
I mean,
X of the year.
obviously, Cather's been on the top of the Twitter list for a long time now.
Mhm.
So whatever.
And Mara's just a good person to read tweets from while eating a bowl of popcorn.
One I would point to as far
And
as
simply protected, really.
specifically as far as X goes, one I would point to was Juanita Broderick. If you ever seen any of the tweets from her, it's actually quite good, including comment section tweets. She definitely gets the nod from me. A lot of stuff on a lot of things. So
Yeah. So
that's one I would mention.
next up to discuss Twitcher of the Year. That's for the Twitch channels of the year, at least as far as I'm concerned. So the only two names here to bring up: Minority Home.
Yeah.
Sup, Steph? So, and
Yeah,
also,
especially with the fall of Dr. Disrespect, I would call it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, another person that I also am a channel member for, or at least on her Twitch channel, as well as Minority Home, Hello Brutiful.
Yep.
Sup, Brew? Are both
Yeah,
nominated for Twitch channels of the year.
The sort of in-house nominees at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends of the channel. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. We got YouTube Stream of the Year. Oh, no, wait, sorry. I should just go down, straight down the column. Underdog of the Year, don't have anything yet. Podcast of the Year, Friday Night Tights. In the Litter Box with Jules and Cat Turd. Like I said, you're going to hear Cat Turd's name a lot here, folks, in the underground. And Talk Nerdy with stuff with Minority Home and Mara Jade. Bro?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on podcasts of the year so
Well,
far?
like I said, as far as the Timcast one, obviously always ranks pretty high for me, but
That rings pretty low for me.
no, I know, and a lot of people have sort of fallen away from it a bit, but I do still think it deserves a nod at least. And I was trying to think. There's a couple other ones, but I'd be interested to see if anything arises in the next couple of months before we actually do the awards.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this is just the first half of the year that we're discussing the best of the first half of the year.
Sort of just touching on it. Yeah.
Yeah. The Rumbler Award, which is the best Rumble channel. And yes, Google, I said it again. Rumble! And I'm going to keep fucking saying it because fuck you. Best Rumbler, Jules Jones from In the Litter Box with Jules and Cat Turd. Because she has her own channel. And D-Day Cobra, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, if you will. Bro?
Yeah, I can't speak too much to the Rumble crowd because I do have an account, but I don't tend to spend a lot of time watching Rumble. So,
Yeah, I
um, yeah,
usually am sitting in the car waiting for mom to get done at work, and I'm listening to Jules and Cat Thread in the litter box. 'Cause
yeah. So I mean, I don't really have any nominees to add or anything to on the Rumble list. So
Kickstart award for the best kick channel. Don't have anything yet. I lean towards putting Mara here because she's the only person I really watch on Kick.
yeah,
YouTube stream of the year. Friday Night Tights, January 26th of this year, with Razorfist on.
yep. Mm-hmm.
And Talk Nerdy from July 14th. That was
Yep.
the day after the assassination attempt on Donald Trump.
Sure.
And
Yep.
Steph Mara and Nina Infinity was on with them as they were covering that whole situation.
Yeah, and by the way, nod to Jeremy Griggs. I mean, channel.
D-Day
Yeah,
Cobra.
D-Day. His streams that he's been doing have been quite good. So that one I would nominate it for myself, my own purposes.
Just wait till we get the YouTuber of the year, which is next.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought we were on. I thought we were on YouTube streamer or whatever.
No, we are just on YouTube stream.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about.
A specific stream, not the whole channel.
Yeah, and then the other. No, I know. That's why I was trying to specifically zero in on his stream that he does.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the Salty Cracker restream. That one's always a good one too. He always does well. I mean, for the most part, he always does good stuff. So.
Okay, so since you were talking about YouTube channel of the year,
Yeah.
Minority Home, Tom Grassi, whom has rated this channel when I used to do like watch parties for NFL football games at the time.
Yep.
Which I have not forgotten, and I will always acknowledge and be grateful for people that have shown support to what I'm doing or trying to do here on the channel. So thank you, Tom Grassi. And I will only ever say for you, go Pack Go. So, Marriage for Dummies as well, a channel that I discovered just this year, who has done reactions to Tom McDonald stuff. So, and among other artists, a Christian couple. So,
Yep.
Bro.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really delved into too many different new ones, but there was one that was more of forgot his name, but it was involving the ancient archaeology sort of type thing. It was sort of up my alley more than perhaps like gaming or entertainment necessarily, but that one was one that I caught wind of because of the whole Clint Dibble controversy that erupted. But yeah.
And we got 3 more.
I'm sure by the end of the year I'll remember exactly, and we'll have it written down or whatever. But yeah.
And we
that
got
was
3
one that
more
caught my eye.
YouTube channels to get to here. So
Yeah,
we also got Young Rippa, or July,
Of course.
for YouTuber of the year, and Heel versus Babyface,
Yep.
and D-Day Cobra, like you were talking about.
Yep.
Music video of the year. I got a couple things to add here. After okay, so I have 4 currently now. Facts by Tom McDonald and Ben Shapiro. Bro.
Yep.
God Mode by Tom McDonald. And so far, John Rich Revelation. Bro.
Yeah. Didn't Tom put out one called You Missed?
Yeah.
That was one I would probably suggest.
Okay.
I know he did it at spur of the moment. It wasn't like a long production or whatever, but I would definitely suggest that one on the list at least.
Okay. Well, it's there now. Tom McDonald, You Missed as well. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We got 4 music videos now. And Artist of the Year, we got Tom McDonald, John Rich. And that's it so far. And in a few minutes, we'll be checking out a music video from another artist. So they might make the Artist of the Year thing too. We shall see. Because I haven't gotten to a video in the launch year of it for Falling in Reverse ever. So, and for Movie of the Year, I don't have anything yet. I got a movie that came out this year, sit down in the living room, that Mom and I still got to watch on DVD yet. And that's The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, and I know it's sort of like perhaps a little overrated, maybe, but for what it's worth, Deadpool and Wolverine was a good movie. Is a good movie.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that it's crossed the billion mark in less than a month, and that's because
I haven't seen it. So
it is. I mean, if you like dark humor, if you like comedy, if you like Deadpool, okay, just in general. This was a good one. This was a good film. And
that's what I keep hearing from people.
And obviously the highest grossing versus its production cost movie. It actually crossed over Joker, which was really actually surprising to hear in regards to that. So it's good. It's hard to deny it. It really is. So but it's also overrated possibly because everyone says that. So I mean, I just wouldn't ignore it is all I'm saying.
So with that in mind, that's all I got for how 2024 is going so far. It's going better than I thought it was going to. Bro?
Yeah, it's been some here, some there. I mean, sort of up and down and up and down and up and down, though. Yeah.
Yeah. However, we're going to end, I don't know on what kind of note, but Falling in Reverse is prequel at this point. So, strap in, everybody. We got some Falling in Reverse to check out. A video that dropped a little more than 24 hours ago, so yesterday at some point. Which means that if this is any good, I'll be adding it to the Video of the Year nominees and throwing Falling in Reverse into Artist of the Year category as well. Are you ready, bro?
Sure.
So far, we see a skull sitting in the sand, so...
Dear diary, I've been searching for a higher me. I'm in the sky in the pilot seat, trying to stop my mind from spiraling, and that's irony, I'm just looking for a resolution. I just want to be a better human, but it's hard when everybody's acting stupid. Pardon me if that came off rude, I just have a bad attitude with the world and not just with you. It's the side effects of abuse. I admit I'm a little strange, I don't think that I'll ever change. I survived a whole life of pain. You could say I escaped my fate. I'm a cynical, egotistical, unpredictable.
This scene right here is reminiscent of that one scene from Watch the World Burn. Oh, bro?
Well, it's actually reminiscent of a lot of different things.
Yeah, but the first thing I thought of is I thought of that one scene from one of their previous videos, and that scene reminded me of the First Order from the Disney Star Wars bullshit.
Well, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the scene from Rise of an Empire, the 300 sequel, Rise of an Empire, when Xerxes is overlooking all of his armies. Yeah, reminded me of that.
Or there's that, yeah, if you want to.
It's kind of a Benito Mussolini thing right here is what this is.
Yeah.
Egotistical, unpredictable, hard criminal, and I can be a little hypocritical, but I'll admit it straight to your face. I'm unbreakable, irreplaceable, undeniably inspirational. I use everything I had available to make me the person I am today.
Yeah, so far I'm digging this. What about you, bro?
Well, I'm kind of waiting for him to get to a point, because
with the lyrics I'm talking about
yeah,
here.
I always kind of cringe slightly whenever an artist just talks about themselves the whole song. I was kind of hoping he would talk about something more broader than himself.
Well, we're only 59 seconds in, so
Yeah.
Dear diary, I just had another wild dream. I was in a world that admired me, and when I woke up I was smiling, and that's irony, that's irony. You talk a lot but you don't even know me. I'm just hoping that my testimony will inspire y'all to stop acting phony. Pardon me if that came off weird, I don't mean to be mean, I swear. I have been through a lot this year, I just want to make a few things clear. I don't like it when people hate behind my back and not to my face. Nowadays it just feels so fake, so I'll cut the grass to expose the snakes.
so that scene with everybody doing the same thing as him is kind of like Jonestown in a way, right?
Well, that's just tribalism, I would think.
Yeah,
Perhaps cultism.
and there's a lot of that right now.
Oh yeah, no, it's prevalent.
Yeah.
Expose the snakes. I'm unstoppable. It's impossible. You don't want to see the diabolical side of me that never stops is volatile. So I suggest you stay in your lane. I'm unapologetic. You know where it's headed. I will never ever let up off the pedal. I got the spirit of every warrior for me. You ever back the fuck up? Get out my face. You're a slave to labor and you praise the fascists. You kiss the hand that takes half in taxes, faking outrage and being.
You kiss the hand that takes half of taxes.
Perhaps he's referring to.
He's starting to say things here.
Yeah, he's not talking about himself anymore. Now he's talking about others.
Let's go back to here, and so we can hear all that again.
Never ever let up off the pedal. I got the spirit of every warrior for me. You ever back the fuck up? Get out my face. You're a slave to labor and you praise the fascists. You kiss the hand that takes half in taxes, faking outrage and being seen. A generation with no self-esteem. It's time to rise up and stand against them. Break the chains and finally see the vision. We're post-traumatic from a broken system. Follow me into the chaos engine. It's time to stand. It's time to fight. Don't be afraid to twist the knife. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Prepare to die. Prepare to burn. Abandon hope. It's not enough. Cause all our gods abandon us. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Light the match. Watch it burn. Heaven falls. The angels die. Let it burn from the start. When everything falls apart.
Well,
So, what I was
Yeah.
going to say is, I don't think he actually made a point, other than a frustrated rebellion. The imagery is incredibly sacrilegious, extremely sacrilegious, about as sacrilegious as it gets, really. Because it's not okay. The definition of sacrilegion, just in case anyone's like questioning what I mean by that.
yeah.
Sacrilegious symbolism is referring to a actual religious symbol without actually displaying that symbol in and of itself. Okay,
Mhm.
that's what sacrilegious means. Okay, it's sort of a mockery of a religious symbol because it isn't the symbol. It is something else that resembles that symbol. Okay, in this case, he's putting himself on a cross and nailing his own hands to it and sacrificing himself or whatever to either Satan. I don't know who the hell is supposed to win in this situation. Who he even wants to win, I don't know.
Yeah, because we saw demons trying to hold on to him, angels trying to.
Yeah, it's like the forces of hell were like, no, he's ours, and the forces of heaven were like, wait, no, we want him. It's like, okay, so which side is he on? I don't even know right now.
The song in the video does bring up.
He does talk about angels falling and heaven falling. I'm like, okay, well, you probably shouldn't want that to happen. You wouldn't want the forces of darkness to win over the forces of good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle about it because it's like it's extremely powerful symbolism, of course, and he's referring to a spiritual war. But half the video he talks about himself, and I'm like, okay, well, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but you're not that important. You are, for your own sake and your own salvation, you are the most important thing to yourself. But what about to the rest of us? Like, we don't look to you for salvation. Okay, I'm not looking to this guy for salvation. I'm looking at somebody else, some person that doesn't involve anyone else besides, yeah. So what this man in this video is not Jesus. In fact, he's very not Christ-like, we might say. But he's mocking Christ in a sense. So I don't know. I'm kind of I'm not sitting on a fence about this. I'm just kind of like, gives me mixed emotions, and it gives me kind of a wrong feel. And I really don't know why he brought up the fascists. Why is he bringing up fascism? I mean, like, is he talking about Donald Trump? Was that a slight at Donald Trump? Was that what that was?
I do not believe so, because if you know anything about Ronnie Radke, he is very tight with Tom McDonald.
Sure, yeah, no, I get it. But everybody's opinions are individual, their own,
True. But also, if you've listened to some things that he has said before.
Because I know what that whole half in taxes line was about the government, obviously. So yeah. I know that.
Yeah. So
there's nobody else taxing us besides the government,
Someone in the comments can probably tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I'm willing to bet that he's talking about the current administration.
Okay, well, I mean, whatever. It's just not clear who he's referring to. You know what I mean?
That's also true.
And I mean, honestly, if you are a Christian individual, putting yourself in the position of Jesus is not the angle I would take. That's what I would call a weird flex, because you're not, and you will never be even close to equivalent to Jesus. Damn! A person might play Jesus. A person might think of themselves as some sort of savior, but that's called playing savior. That's called, it's a vain position to be in. Okay. You are your own sort of director of your life, of course, but every director needs guidance, and it can't all just be from within. Because like if he's talking about at the beginning about how abused he is and how he said to overcome and how angry inside he is and how dedicated to fighting he is, it's like, yeah, all of those emotions can be made for good, can be used for good, but all of those emotions can be used for bad too.
Yeah.
And if you start to get so full of yourself, you think whatever I do is right. That's exactly where a lot of the completely deranged people are in this country and in the world. That's where they're at. They're thinking whatever I choose to do is the right thing, even if it's wrong. Even if somebody tells me I'm wrong, I don't trust them. I don't believe them just because they're a hater. I mean, someone who is giving you constructive criticism is not a hater. Someone who is giving destructive criticism may be a hater, maybe. But someone who's giving constructive criticism to you is not a hater. They're helping you. and you
So,
should listen.
so on a scale of thumbs up or thumbs down, what would you give?
My thumb is sideways because I don't exactly know what exactly he means with a lot of
Yeah,
what he's saying, and I don't appreciate
yeah,
the
that's kind of
symbolism.
where I'm at
I
too.
don't appreciate what I would call the abuse of the symbolism, because that is pretty much abusing the symbolism.
Yeah,
If
I
you're gonna depict Jesus, I would prefer you depict Jesus, not yourself.
yeah, because with the words of the song, it's pretty good. But if you match it up with the imagery of the video,
Yeah, you start to get weird thoughts, and
I don't
that's
really
why
make
my thumb is sideways on this one. Not down
so.
necessarily, not up,
So
but kind of sideways.
if you take the video away and the song itself, yeah, it gets a thumbs up for me. The song, but the
Sure.
video is, I don't know.
I mean, you know what? Actually, for me, I think if it didn't have any audio and I just watched the video, I might go, "Oh, okay." So he feels like a warrior in a spiritual war. I'd be like, "Oh, okay." If it were just the video, I'd be like, maybe. But with the song, that pulls it down to the like I said, the sideways thumb for me. The song and video don't really match all that well.
No, they don't.
So I'm just kind of in the middle on this one.
Yeah, as am I. So on that note, everybody, let's take a look at the live chat, see if there's any last things. Nope, there is nothing else there. So when you guys are seeing this on Rumble, please do me a favor, hit the follow button over on Rumble. I greatly appreciate it. Also, go follow Drudat Games over on Rumble, where the gaming stuff from Drudat Games on YouTube also winds up ending up later as well as this will be on Drudat Underground on Rumble as well. Yes, I know I'm saying Rumble a lot, and I know Google doesn't like it, but fuck them. So, on that note, please leave a comment down below. I don't care if you leave a like or a sub on this channel because fuck Google. So,
Yeah.
At that point, or at this point rather, any last minute thoughts from you?
The only other bit of entertainment news or any thoughts I had was about the absolute bomb that was the Borderlands movie.
Yeah, that was awful.
That was one of the worst bombs in cinema history, because they spent $110 million making it, and they only got about $8 million on their box office.
Otherwise,
so that was a disaster.
Otherwise, I'll leave you guys with a good look at my new shirt that finally came. I bought this as a part of the HangoverGang.com Memorial Day sale, which, for whatever reason, the order got lost or stolen or something. I sent an email to Tom McDonald or to the customer service of Hangover Gang, and Tom McDonald himself was the one that got back to me saying that he'd ship it out right away. And 5 days later, the shirts finally came. So this is one of them. Jesus Christ, I Love America. Jesus with AK-47. Yeah. Because Jesus Christ, I love America. So
because if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, right?
Yeah. I believe that was my way.
Yeah.
If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. And I believe that's also Tom's way, too.
Yeah, maybe.
But on that note, there's nothing else I have. So thank you guys so much for being here for Breaking Rocks 65. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, be safe, be well. May Christ always be with you, including his big gun. And we will see you guys. I don't know if we'll do this next week. We'll see if we got anything, which is always on a case-by-case or week-by-week basis or day-by-day basis even. I will try to absolve to doing something for a game stream soon. When? Fuck if I know. Because I promise to do something on a Sunday and it never fucking happens. I'll try to do something soon for a game stream. That much I can tell you when. Well, fuck if I know anymore. I know that I need to get to Assassin's Creed Mirage. I want to get back to playing Madden 25 because started messing around with trying to get through my quarterback career in college football so I can actually test the export feature from College Football 25 to Med 25, which is supposed to exist. But it didn't because my player was from Winona, Minnesota. So that
I just want to say that for me, probably until the mid part of September, moving is going to occupy my time. So
yeah,
I might be on a little hiatus here.
this guy's going to be moving just a little bit closer to me. So
that is, like I said, that is the plan. We'll see how it all shakes out. But yeah.
Then at that point, you can finally hook up the Switch that I gave you my old Switch when I got the new OLED one.
Yeah.
So we can actually play Mario Kart online at some point.
Yeah, and the only reason I mentioned it is because I probably won't be able to do the podcasts in those probably between now and the middle of September.
Which, just so you guys know, if Nord can't do it, then we aren't going to do it. So,
yeah,
because I generally don't like doing this shit by myself.
But you'll probably be able to do other content reviews and reactions.
Yeah, well, that would give me more time to actually do a game stream or something.
Yeah,
instead
probably.
of doing one of these. I would just fill this time slot with a game stream or something.
Sure, yeah.
While I'm waiting for you to get done moving your useless stuff.
Well, yeah, your viewers might appreciate a game stream every now and then. So
yeah, well, that would be on the main channel. So, main channel that way, his channel's that way. So, without any further ado, I'll see you guys again soon. Be safe, be well. Christ be with you, as always. I forgot what the hell I was going to say. Do something. I don't know what it is, but do it.
Yeah. And I'll be back in a month probably. But yeah.
A month?
Yeah, probably the mid part of September is when I'll be back on the podcast, I would figure.
So it's your time of the month then to move?
It's my month of the year then.
We'll see you guys again sometime.
Yeah.
And I will see you guys a lot sooner than he will.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Be well and good night.
Yep. Bye, folks.
I will never say I'm sorry, I ain't taking nothing back. I don't care if I